Hello and welcome. My name is David Breslow. I am the founder of Performance Success Strategies and the creator of Wired to Win. Today, I'd like to take a moment and talk to you about full expression. Full expression. You know, there's a few things that everybody wants in life. We want to be healthy. Maybe we want to be wealthy. We want to be happy. We want to be creative. We want to express ourselves fully. And everything else seems to be an offshoot of that, all the ways of doing that. And there are many different avenues toward any one of those. But those seem to be the few things that almost everybody seems to want in life. And so we are designed to have those experiences in life. Every one of us has the ability to have those experiences in life. But today I just want to pick out one of those, and I want to focus on full expression. So this is appropriate for you no matter who you are or what you're doing. You could be a golfer, you could be a professional athlete, you could be an amateur athlete, you could be a business person, an entrepreneur, a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad. It doesn't really matter who you are, because expressing oneself fully in life is tremendously important, because we all have talents. Now, whether you're using those talents or not is another matter. Whether you're even aware of your talents or not is another matter. But every one of us has innate talents and innate abilities to excel in some area. And so expressing ourselves is a key component to that. Now, how can you express yourself? You can express yourself through your work, through a creative art, as an actor maybe, or a painter. You can express yourself in your career, in the things that you resonate with. You can express yourself as an athlete. But the idea of expressing yourself fully is something I would really like you to start considering. Because when you go out to the golf course, or you go to work, or you get up in the morning and you're with your family, if you're staying at home, or whatever it is you're doing, going to meetings, traveling to sporting events, traveling to social events, whatever it might be. If you are in a position to where you can express yourself fully, you will feel like a different human being. So think about expressing yourself. How can you express yourself fully? What are some ways you can do that? Well, you can communicate is one way. For those people who do not communicate very well, or who do not communicate at all, they're basically stifling yourself. So one thing you can do to express yourself fully is to communicate fully. Are you happy with something? Are you unhappy with something? Is somebody bothering you? Would you like to ask them to refrain from doing what they're doing? Whatever it might be, express yourself. So express yourself through your communication. Or another avenue is you could express yourself through some hobby or some interest. Do you love music? Do you like to paint? It doesn't matter if you're Vincent van Gogh or not. You don't have to be a professional at any one of these things. But can you express yourself? Can you express yourself in writing? Do you like to write little stories? Do you like to write little articles or essays about whatever's going on in your life? People are doing that on the internet all the time now. They're called bloggers, and all they're doing is expressing themselves. Now, some of these people are just basically expressing their opinion about something. But I'm not asking you to do that if you don't want to do that. You don't need to blast your opinion all over social media. Just express yourself. If you don't want anybody else to see it, then they don't have to see it. But it's an energetic reality is really what I'm talking about here. Because as you express yourself, you're putting out this vibration of really good energy, because you're expressing yourself. You're getting it from inside of you to outside of you. So you may have some really great things to express in the world. How do you know? Have you ever tried it? But I can tell you you can tell you now, the world needs it. If you have something to express, especially if it's some value to other people and to the world, please, by all means, do it. Do a podcast. There's all sorts of ways now technologically that are available to everybody. YouTube, record a video, use Zoom. It's free. I'm doing that right now, and I'm recording it. There's a piece of software called Audacity. It's free, and you can download it and record yourself. and send that out to wherever you want it to go. There's all sorts of ways that one can express themselves now. If you're an athlete, do you really express yourself on the golf course or on the tennis court? Do you fully express yourself? Or do you just consider being angry and being frustrated and feeling bad and talking down about yourself as a form of expressing yourself? Well, it is a form of expressing yourself. It's just not a very useful form of expressing yourself. But are you expressing all of your talents? That's one of the things I do in the Wired to Win program when I'm working with an athlete, a golfer, a tennis player, whoever it is. I have this definition of, I call it competition, but it's really more than that. But it's the ability to express yourself fully and freely. Express your talents fully and freely without any concern for any obstacles that may come your way, which you move through easily and gracefully. That's the definition. Learning how to express yourself fully and freely while overcoming your obstacles with ease and grace. So express yourself. When you step out to the golf course, are you expressing yourself fully and freely? Are you giving to the game all of your talents fully and freely? Or do you allow people, places, and situations to throw you off track? When you go out to work, do you express yourself fully and freely? Or do you live under some kind of assumption that you can't do that? Because you can. Even if there are limitations on the job imposed by other people, imposed by policies or bosses or whoever they may be, you can still express your talents fully and freely. You still can express your talents fully and freely. Nobody can stop you from doing that. So when you're with your family, when you're with your friends, are you expressing yourself fully and freely? Are you giving all of the love that you have? Are you giving all of the compassion that you have, all of the understanding, all of the ability to listen, all the empathy, all the sympathy, whatever it might be? Give of yourself fully and freely. So that's one of the central messages, maybe the key message here today. Please consider, no matter what arena of life you're in, please consider giving of yourself fully and freely. That's the key here. Remember to give of yourself fully and freely. And how are you going to do that? Do a check-in. I'm big on check-ins. Anybody who's ever worked with me in the Wired to Win program knows that I'm really big on checking in. Because when you check in, that's when you wake up again. You cannot wake up again if you don't check in. How do you know? How do you know where you're at? How do you know what's going on? Because if we don't check in, we just do things by rote automatic habit. We're like little robots. We kind of think the same way, talk the same way, act the same way, react the same way almost all the time. That's what I call being asleep. But when you check in, you begin to wake up. So one of the ways you can check in with this living fully and freely, expressing yourself fully and freely, is literally, no matter what scenario you're in, just stop for a moment and ask yourself this question. Am I expressing myself fully and freely right now? That's it. Just ask the question. That's all you have to do to get the ball started. Because if you ask that question, your mind will take that in and it actually will answer it for you. You don't have to do anything. It'll actually answer it for you. It'll say, hey, you know what? No, you're not. You're not. You do this all the time. You kind of clam up and you get quiet and you get reserved. And, it'll tell you. It'll talk to you because it knows. It's doing it with you out of habit. So it knows. So it'll tell you. But in that moment, when you discover that you're not expressing yourself, and once you ask that question, now you have a moment, a window of time to now make a new choice because you're awake. All things can happen when you're awake. Now that you're awake, just because you asked the question, you can actually make a new choice. You can direct your mind and say, you know what, wait a minute. I need to express myself more here. I need to communicate something here. Or I need to offer something here. I need to add something here. I need to give something here. Whatever it is. I don't know where you're going to do this. I don't know if you're going to be on the golf course, at home, on the job, at the grocery store, at the gas station. I don't know where you're going to be. So I can't fill in the blank for you. But I can tell you that once you check in, that you now have that window of opportunity to literally make a new choice. Make a new choice, because you're going to see the reality of what's going on right in front of you. And you know what you need to do. You know, many times people will say to me, well, what should I do, Dave? What's the right choice? Well, I don't know. I don't know what scenario you're going to be in, so I can't answer that question. And point number 2 is you don't have to worry about that. You're automatically going to make the right choice. Do you really think you're going to make a choice that's going to hurt you? No, you're not. You're going to make the right choice. Innately, it's going to come out of you innately. You're automatically going to know. Your body is going to know what the right choice is. It's intuition. It knows what the better choice is in that moment if you allowed it to show up, which you did allow it to show up by checking in and asking the question, am I giving myself fully and freely right now? Am I expressing myself fully and freely right now? By asking that question, you now gone from asleep to awake, and now you have awakened the intuition inside of you. So you don't have to really do anything. Your job is to get the train started on the right track. And the way you do that is by asking the question. That's your only job here. That's your only job here, is to ask the question. Can you do that? I believe you can. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about here today in this little podcast, or this little broadcast. It's about expressing yourself, self-expression, expressing yourself fully, not just ranting, not just complaining, not just making excuses and ranting and raving and stuff like that. There's enough of that in this world. We don't need any more of that. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about expressing the best parts of you, expressing your talents, expressing your love, your compassion, your understanding, your communication, whatever it is, all those higher level things, those higher energy things. Okay, stay away from the ranting and the complaining. There's way too many people doing that on social media. You don't need to join that kind of garbage pity party. Stay away from it. But you do have a lot of things you can express in this world that are very worthwhile. And you're going to feel good when you do it. I promise you. If you're an athlete, you're going to feel great when you go out there. You hear the athletes all the time talking about this in post-game interviews. You know, they go out there and they give everything they have. Win or lose, they gave everything they have. They expressed themselves fully and freely and still maybe lost the game. Okay, so what? But at least they feel good. They can look in the mirror and go, you know what? I gave everything I had today. We just got beat. Period. So imagine how good that feels to give everything you have. Express yourself fully and freely. And I mean that in any scenario. Like I said, on the golf course, on the tennis court, at work, at home, in the grocery store. It doesn't matter where you are. It really doesn't matter. So just consider everywhere you go as your number one goal is to express your talents fully and freely. And just remember to check in, because when you do, that's when everything changes. So thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes. Dave Breslow. I look forward to talking to you next time. Remember, I am the owner of Performance Success Strategy and the creator of Wired to Win. So you're welcome to visit me online if you're interested in personal development, www.davebreslow.com. If you happen to be a golfer, you're more than welcome to visit me at www.mentalgolfcoaching.com. If you're a tennis player, come and visit me at www.mentaltenniscoach.com. So if you're anything other than an athlete, you're an actor, stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, entrepreneur, anything in life other than golf, tennis, visit me at davebreslow.com. So once again, thanks for hanging out, and I look forward to talking to you real soon. Take care.